Welcome back to FedBiz Exchange. I'm Michelle Brown, your coach and your mentor. Today's video is about something that I consider a myth in government contracting, the no bid contracts scenario. There are people that talk about the fact that you can win contracts without bidding. Now, I'm not saying it is completely untrue. It is just that there is some factual information missing. We are talking about what people call micro contracts under 25,000. And I am here to tell you that there's no such thing, really. I mean, if you listen to what I'm about to teach you and tell you, you will always need to present something or have a reason why a contracting officer would give you, and I should not say give you, would award you a contract. So I want to dispel this myth and make sure that you understand why I don't want you thinking this way or thinking that you can build a successful business off of what people call no bid contracts. I received an email asking about winning no bid contracts. The email basically reads, I've been watching your YouTube channel, I'm registered with my cage code, and I'm working on my capability statement and my P card. I'm interested in micro contracts so I can learn the business without bidding. How can you help me? What should I do? I'm very impressed that you can virtually dish out contracts. I need one soon, meaning they need to win a contract very soon. Let's discuss, first of all, this from a summary level. Not only is there no such thing as winning without competing or bidding, the idea of just focusing on micro contracts is not realistic when you're trying to build a business. I mean, if you're trying to just do something to make a living, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But government is not the strategy for that. I'm not saying you can't win a contract without bidding, but I'm going to tell you how that works because really, it's still bidding. You're still presenting contracting officers with pricing. They are still evaluating you. I don't care how big or how small the opportunity is. You cannot build a business like that thinking that you're just going to get a whole bunch of micro contracts. So you guys need to get rid of this idea of winning government contracts, especially federal. There is something similar done at a state level, but again, you can't build a multi-million dollar business like this. You can barely eat off of something like this. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into this discussion point by point. Technically, from my experience, which I have true factual government contracting experience for more than 10 years, actually more than 12 to 14 years. I've been doing it so long, I've lost count. It's been most of my business career. And there is no such thing when it comes to no bid contracts. And I'm going to walk through point by point explaining to you why. This concept, although rare, in federal government is more probable in state, city, or local government. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation, but a lot of you are certified with your state or city, and maybe you know someone, but it's not just about who you know. The process, no matter whether it's city, state, or federal, has to be fair. At a state level, city level, local level, sometimes it's not. There's a lot of nepotism that goes on, but you may not know anyone in that system. There is a bidding process, whether it's city, state, or federal. Okay, now federal, this is an unlikely scenario. There's no such thing as true no bid contracts at the federal level. Here's why. The reason is because we have a FAR that says a contracting officer must put out an opportunity for fair bidding, fair pricing. They can't just keep giving things to someone without justification. Are there people that win consistently smaller contracts under 25,000? Sure, but let me tell you how that happens. Contracting officers go out there and they look for small businesses like we would love for them to do consistently, but they don't do it consistently. Sometimes they have a need for something. They can't find anyone to do it. It's smaller contracting awards that they're looking for, working with small businesses on. And what happens is they go out there to the small business dynamic search, not SAM. SAM is connected, but they go to the small business dynamic search and they start looking for small businesses that may be able to do that. Or over the years, they build a list of small businesses that maybe they have capability statements that have been sitting in their files. And so they're looking for a specialty group of businesses. They might send out, based on your PSC codes, your NACE codes, your keywords, they might send out an email to a group of small businesses asking for pricing, telling you how they found you. Or maybe you sent them a capability statement a long time ago, they put it in a drawer, now they need it. So they would ask you for pricing. Now, that may seem like you're not bidding. Maybe you don't have to do a formal solicitation, but the fact of the matter is they're comparing pricing. You're not the only one that they sent that request to. So technically, you are still bidding. You're just not having to do all of the same paperwork that you would normally do. And by law, everything under $300,000 must go to small businesses. That's the law. So they have to try with small businesses before they give these smaller contracts to large companies. That's why we have certifications, but sometimes the certifications don't work, so the contracting officers go out there and they look for you. That's why you have to have the right codes. And then these companies usually have some level of past performance. The contracting officer may like what they have to offer. He's not just waiting for pricing from one company. He might be waiting for pricing from 2 or 3 companies. What is your price? Maybe he's looking at women or she's looking at veterans. 8As, it doesn't matter. The point is you still have to compete. Now, once you win something like that from a contracting officer contacting you, he or she may have justification. And remember what I said, justification. They have to, at a federal level, have justification for awarding a contract to one company over another without a fair bidding practice. They can't just give it to somebody. So this is why I don't want you thinking this way. You cannot do well in government contracting thinking that you're going to live off of or make a lot of money off of no bid contracts. Get that out of your head. You have to bid to win. Bidding is marketing. If they don't see you, you will never get a contract. And if you do, it's not going to continue to happen. I don't care if you're 8A, I don't care if you're service disabled, because by law at federal level, they cannot do that. And if they are caught, not only will they lose their jobs, they could be prosecuted for such behavior. So it has to be fair. That is why there's no such thing as a no bid contract. It literally demolishes the whole premise behind fairness. Then also, the process is very rare, even at the federal level. Sure, they would love to have people that they trust and depend on, but here's what happens. They put out a contract and the same people bid. They have to take the best pricing. Pricing is king, even sometimes, most of the time, over past performance. So let's say you normally win, and then here comes somebody new, just like I'm teaching you guys to do this, and they beat you. That's because maybe they don't have the same experience that you do, but maybe their pricing requires the contracting officer to take a chance on the new person. Okay, so just get that out of your head. If you want to be in this game, you have to learn every aspect of it. And the biggest aspect is bidding. If you don't bid, you won't win. Additionally, you should not count on something like this, even if you do win a $25,000 contract here or there. Because again, you cannot run a business like this. This is not a quick hit and forget it type of business. This is federal contracts. It's big business. Now, if you want to do state, you might run into a situation like that here or there. But to win contracts, 25,000 or 25 million, you must learn to bid. And then yes, they will be looking at you. Once that door is open, like with DLA, once you get that door open, it starts coming. But guess what? Those of you that are winning, what do you have in common? You have in common that you have 20 bids out there, 30, some of you even 60, 70, and 80 bids. That's why you keep winning, because you did exactly like I taught you to do. So you should accept credit cards. You should have your capability statement, but you can't live off of waiting for somebody to look at your capability statement or give you a credit card sale. Will they buy under 25,000? Absolutely. But guess what? Those are in SAM, the $25,000 ones. Those are in DLA. You could find $25,000 contracts all day long. And if you start winning them, sure, you can do a lot of $25,000 contracts and become a millionaire. That's not what I'm saying is the problem. The problem is you thinking that there's an easy route to this. And it's not difficult, but there's a system. So you need to realize, all of us, the game is the same, and it means we have to do some work. Okay? Thank you guys. See you in the next video.